My father told me to forgive my stepsister and my cheating fiancé or he would disown me. Now he's getting the taste of his own medicine. Mia, my stepsister, was the typical girly girl. She developed beautifully. She was basically like Cassie from Euphoria. She would get all the attention. Even my relatives preferred her more than me. I studied hard and got into a prestigious university. That was the only time my father threw a party for me because I was the first in the family to do it, but Mia was jealous of it. Anyway, I started dating Tim during my last year of high school. He proposed to me when we were sophomores in college, but we decided to wait till our graduation. So one day during our semester break, I went to his home and saw him fucking Mia. I was shocked. I remember I was crying and screaming at him. I could never forget the smirk on Mia's face. That's when I knew Mia was a bitch. So my dad and stepmom knew about it, so guess what? My dad told me to forgive them. His logic is that Tim fell out of love with me, so he fell in love with your sister. You should give them your blessing instead of being petty. I shouted back, of course you will say that because you cheated on mom. My dad and I had a screaming match. He told me he would disown me if I did not accept them and come to their wedding. I remember that I stormed off and I cried for days. That's the moment I realized I was alone. I wanted to be petty and make her regret it. I started thinking about what I could do. My initial plan was to wear white on her wedding day, but then I ran into Mia's ex, Jay. Jay and Mia were one of those couples who were on and off again. Mia exploited Jay a lot. They last broke up when Jay caught Mia flirting with one of his friends, but there was a lot of history. So when Jay learns about Mia and Tim, he becomes slightly angry. He kept saying he wished he could just take revenge on all the times Mia had done him wrong. So I had another plan. I asked him to be my +1 at her wedding. I know Mia still has feelings for Jay. It would piss her off, but we agreed that after that we would part ways. So when the wedding came, my dad was cordial with me because I wasn't creating trouble. So I went to her wedding with Jay, wearing a bright red dress because I read that red means you slept with the groom. It was also over the top. I might have made some heads turn. When Mia saw me with Jay, her face turned pale. I was purposely being very touchy with Jay, whispering in his ears, touching his shoulder, and dancing with him very closely. I swear Mia was just as red as my dress. I was also asked to give a speech. I kept it short. Thank God I do not have more sisters. Otherwise, Tim would have swapped Mia with one of them. You know he has a fetish of fucking his fiancé's sisters behind her back. We were asked to leave. After the wedding incident, I found my mom because something told me she didn't abandon me. It wasn't hard to find her. I found her on Facebook, and we started chatting. She is married and has 2 boys, my half-brothers. I got the real story from her. She didn't abandon me. My father won the custody case. He used my mom's past substance abuse to take away her visitation rights too. We reconciled, and I felt welcomed for the first time. I also met my stepfather and my 2 brothers. They are amazing people. Since then, I have regularly met them. 2 years after the wedding incident, I met a guy, Andy. He was better than Tim in every other way. He was charming and had a higher position in his job. After 2 years, my sister contacted me out of the blue and told me she was pregnant and she now wants to bury the hatchet. I was very reluctant. I feared she would also try to steal Andy from me, but Andy reassured me he was not that weak. Honestly, I do want to meet Dad again, so I gave it a shot anyway. I went to dinner with Andy, and to my surprise, Tim recognized him. It was later revealed to me that Andy was Tim's boss. This is the fact I didn't know. My dad and stepmom brought me to a corner and said that my relationship with Andy was unacceptable because I was trying to hurt my sister by dating Tim's boss. I told them to fuck off. My love life is none of their business. After that, I got a drunken call from Tim that he was very unhappy with my sister and that he wanted to escape. He never knew what he had lost until he saw me with Andy. I ignored him. Then the phone calls didn't stop. First, my dad told me that my dating Andy was causing tension between my sister and Tim. I told him their marital life was none of my business. I got a call from my stepsister, who asked if she could come to my house and talk. I told her after the dinner party I wanted nothing to do with them. Instead, she went to Andy's office to convince him to talk to me. Of course, Tim saw this and accused her of trying to seduce Andy as he seduced him. Long story short, Andy had to fire Tim for his misbehavior. This caused even more tension. Tim became verbally abusive towards Mia and said his life was ruined because of her. They separated. Tim is trying to figure out how he can handle the divorce proceedings. After the Tim and Mia drama, my dad suddenly appeared in my apartment. He was bawling his eyes out because he caught Karen sleeping with his male cousin. He was devastated. So I told him what he said to me when Tim cheated on me. Karen fell out of love with you, so she fell in love with your cousin. You should give them your blessing instead of being petty. My dad was confused. I further told him, well, you taught me this, remember? When I was sad about Tim cheating on me with Mia, you told me to forgive them. My father's face was rotten.